Hello everyone, it's been a while. Walk and Talk 46, I believe. There's Bruce, he's doing well. Walk and Talk 46. A quick catch up and a quick overview of the crazy stuff that's come out over the last few months. Well, let's start with this finally. I've got a new microphone, one of those ones you clip on, and we'll see if the sound is better. Hopefully, I really hope it's better. And yeah, I'm quite excited to use it. Where we are now this is one of my favourite beaches. This is one of my favourite private beaches. You can see there's all sand and beautiful clean fresh waters running through. I do love it here. There's the group. Hello group. Just trying to get the flies, look. You good boy. Group. Yeah, beautiful bush. Now if we come round here, I'll just give you a look round while you're here. If we come round here, there is another bridge to reality, but we're not going to cross it today, we're just going to stay in this area. So a lot's happened, hasn't it? We had the fake. I just want to start with this actually. I don't want SINE Project to be of just covering the same news stories that everyone else is covering. I think now is the time that it's important that we discuss more about aspects of what the soul and the spirit are and what we can do to defend them, because that's obviously what's under attack. It's not about money. It's about controlling everything, including your spirit and then your soul. That's really what all the biometric stuff is all about. So yeah, I will cover a few of the news stories and give you my view on them. The Epstein thing, well, they were never going to tell you because too many of the people up top are on Jeffrey's list, and if they give that up, the people that used Jeffrey as a blackmail operation for the high rollers, they will lose their grip and their blackmail on all of those people, especially politicians and even members of the royal family. And of course, they don't want to give up that control. People always say, well, you know, if Trump was on the list, the Democrats would have released it. Well, no. Because many of the people on the list are the Democrats. And like I say, Democrats, Republicans, it's all the same ship leading you to disaster. And we got, when it comes to Trump, you can't be a close friend of Jeffrey Epstein for over 10 years and tell me that you weren't involved with any of the nasty things that he was getting up to. And I guess that's I mean, I'm sure they'll use the Epstein stuff in the future when they want everything to come out in the open, to make everybody turn in on themselves and start eating each other, just as they always do. The same gameplay, same story, same sketch. Meanwhile, the people that cause the issues and the problems watch from afar as the empires they've used up and washed up eat themselves, and that's what we're about to embark on in the West. It's an amazing time to be alive because we really do get this fantastic option once in a lifetime, once in a few hundred lifetimes, of watching and witnessing the collapse of an empire. And if we take notes and we take the time to observe how they do it, it's a very interesting time in human history to witness, to watch. you see exactly how they do it. Now I did make a small, I hope this microphone's still working. I did make I did put up a short about the Charlie Kirk being shot, and I took it back down because again I don't want that on the SINE project page, but at the same time it was incorrect because I managed to get more footage. As you know, updates occur all the time, new evidence comes out all the time, and the boy in white who I circled, it was not the shooter. However, I've got a friend who was shot in the neck by a 7.62 Dragunov sniper rifle in Iraq, and I've got images of what the entry and exit wound looked like after they'd been healed up somewhat. He's given me the permission. I've asked him permission. He's given me permission to post them, so I will put them up. I'll edit it into this video, so if you're squeamish, just turn away now and you won't have to look at it. And I'll put them up now. So as you can see, the entry wound through the front of the neck, and you can see the exit wound out the back. Now a 7.62 round is much smaller than a 30-06. A 30-06 would have cleanly taken his head off. It certainly wouldn't have just stopped in his neck of steel, as we've all been told, but you know, we're mushrooms, we're fed on crap and we're kept in the dark as usual. There's only two real options. Well, there's three options for the Charlie Kirk palaver. The first one is the official narrative, which is the least likely and pretty much impossible to believe at this stage of the game. The second possibility is that it was faked and he's still alive. They either used holograms, technology, or a squad, blood packs and all the rest of it. And he's going to be put into a new role, which is what they usually do, because many of the famous people that you see and follow on TV have played multiple roles over the years. And they do that because it keeps the circle small, you see, and they can reuse their the talent over and over again in different roles and put them in places and positions where they need them. But normally when somebody dies, like the 27 Club, they don't really die, they just move into another role. It's probably why Alan Watts said the politicians are such good actors. Some of them have been and are actors. I mean, look at Zelensky. Can you believe we've given that clown, the West has given that clown 360 billion. Crazy. So yeah, and the third option with Charlie Kirk is that he was offed by the state because he was starting to follow his moral compass and had some moral courage and was starting to speak out to the youth about things that he shouldn't be speaking out about. And I've heard that he was denying large sums of money from various donors, including close attachments to Israel, and of course going back to the Epstein, that's all connected with Israel. Now, it's not that I blame everything on the Jews, we've gone over this, but Israel is certainly, and has been since its conception, a leading arm for the globalist world order. That's the whole point of it. That's why it was founded pretty much by the Rothschild family and the same globalists that we're up against today. It's amazing really today. We've got people that are fighting, you know, people that say, oh, they love their country, and you've got people fighting the people that are for Palestine and yet against the government, but we're all fighting the same thing, folks. And there is something that Max Egan always used to say about Palestine, and I completely agree with him. The way of Palestine will be the way of the world if we let it. I mean, what we're witnessing is horrific over there. And that's what people don't truly understand. People like to pick a side. We're not on any side, are we, Bruce? We're on the artist side. Hey, boy. You're a beauty? What kind of beauty are you? Are you a beautiful beauty? Are you a wonderful beauty? And that's it with the old, that's all I have to really say on the Charlie Kirk matter. So really, he's either still alive and put into another role, or he was off by the system. I mean, looking at some of the things that I've seen regarding his wife Erica, after just 2 weeks of losing her husband apparently in such an horrific way, she was all smiles and giggles, which I thought was strange. And the whole funeral thing was a bit much, wasn't it? It was like a Trump rally. Oh people. So in the future, like I say, I want to continue on the SINE project, and I want to post more informational videos on things that aren't in the mainstream, because they give us these stories. They wouldn't let these stories out. We know that most of the media outlets are controlled by a very small group, and as one arm, that's another arm. And I don't want to be covering the stories that they are putting out, because everybody else is covering it, and basically I feel like when they're doing so, they are working the system for it. They're working for the system, because they're helping propagandize the messages and transmissions that the system wants put out there. But we've got more important things to talk about. We've got to talk about how they plan to dismantle the spirit, what their plans are for the soul, how they're going to use the technology that they're using now, including artificial intelligence, to build this trap. Talking about the trap, I will cover another issue in this vid while we're on the topic of the slave system, and that is the digital ID. It looks like their push for the digital ID in the United Kingdom by Keir Starmer is a massive surveillance survey, to see how many people they got on board, how many people they don't get on board. They have to know everything about their livestock, and we at the end of the day are their livestock. But the digital ID, regardless, should be the hill that we die on. Saying no to that should be the hill that we die on. Because once they've got that through, they're then working directly with your biometrics. And as I've told you before, everything that makes you unique is an aspect of your potential, your spark, your unique essence, your soul. That part of you that came from the great artist. Your unique essence, that's what they want to trample on. And by taking your biometric data and storing it all in one data center, they're basically storing little portions of your soul. It gets deeper. I'm going to go over this in time with you about all of the possibilities that look like they're unfolding, and of which there are many, and they're pretty horrific. But like I say, the system's about to collapse now in real time. When we're watching it occur, we're watching the police turning on those that they don't like. Another bad thing about for example, you know, you've got the petition up there against the digital ID, of which I think last time I saw was reached 2.5 million signatures. But now you've got 2.5 million people on the list, haven't you? With a target on their back. I wouldn't worry so much. I've had a target on my back for a while. Like I say, perhaps one day I'll tell you how the system tried to dismantle me, and by the luck of the great artist, failed. People are out there marching in the street for free speech, and what they're failing to understand is just free speech is one thing, but at this time we're actually losing the freedom to think. And the freedom of thought should come before freedom of speech, before free speech. I don't think it's written in the Constitution, is it, that you're allowed free thought? Free speech is protected in the American Constitution, but I don't think free thought is protected in actual words. Let me know if I'm wrong. I posted that there would be an issue that occurs between September the 6th and September the 15th, and that was obviously the Charlie Kirk palaver. But that's not exactly what I was looking for. See, I follow a certain analyst who is absolutely fantastic at reading the markets, and he's got it right every time there's been a problem with Iran and Israel. He's called it weeks before. So looking at his data and his analytics, I would say that it looks like in October, the beginning of October, the first week or two of October, there's going to be a big something big that's going to be big enough to drop the markets. So that's something to watch out for. What is needed is you know, we live in a world where they send men and women off to war. You know, the politicians, they send men and women off to wars, and the men and women they send to go to these wars have to be drug tested. Yet the people sending them, the politicians sending them, don't have to be drug tested. That's kind of odd, isn't it, or backwards for a society. So I would say some of the things that may be able to help is what Alan Watt always said. He said that if you're going to have a government or anyone in public office getting paid by the public, taking the public's money, all politicians, for example, they need to be psychologically and psychiatrically evaluated, at least annually. They should also be drug tested every 3 months. And also they should disclose, there should be a public disclosure of anyone in public office that has taken oaths to other societies, be it Freemasonry, WEF, World Health Organization, the UN, any order. People are starting now to make a stink about the Fabian Society. That's nice that finally they're getting some attention. That's a very small branch of the bigger lot, but yeah, any groups, organisations, any allegiances that have been taken to other groups and entities or societies or brotherhoods, any oaths that have been taken to any of these societies or brotherhoods have to be disclosed to the public. Otherwise, you're going to have people in power that are serving foreign entities and not in the country's best interest. So I think we'll leave it. There. Just like I say, a quick update, quick flow, quick catch up. let you know everything's fine, and trying out this new microphone. Hopefully the sound comes out a lot better than it has in all my other videos, and that'll be brilliant. But we'll speak again soon. But as I say, I want to concentrate on some of the issues that aren't being spoken about, things that can help you understand what's actually happening, and perhaps find your role in this nonsense, on this clown world. Be blessed, and may your dog, or your dogs, go with you. Isn't it, Bruce? You say goodbye then. Say goodbye. You beautiful boy you are. Yeah, you're such a beauty. I don't know what to say about a beauty. A beauty.